Alright, welcome back to another live watch along here on SCS Combat. And this weekend we are here for UFC Vegas 110, and we are on the co-main event. Bit of a delay to get to things tonight, but we are on Waldo Costa, Waldo Costa, Waldo Cortez Acosta taking on Ante Delija. Pretty big name in the heavyweight scene right now. Ante Delija, mostly known for being the teammate of Tom Aspinall, who Aspinall said that he will not fight, he will vacate the belt if Ante Delija gets to that position. So 14-2, 6-4 for Waldo Cortez Acosta, and he's the underdog in this fight tonight. Let's see what happens here. Ante Delija been on a run at heavyweight, and that's obviously where the title conversations will come in. Got Mark Smith in here refereeing tonight. Let's go. It's a good fight coming up. Alright, there we go, sorted. So round one underway in the co-main event here. So I mean, huge heavyweights here, both about 6'4". I think that's what said Costes was, and Delija looks pretty much the same height, if not taller. So let's see what happens here. Ranger fight already. We all know Waldo Cortez Acosta was kind of pretty good, but he wasn't like on a huge knockout streak or anything like that. But he was, compared to the rest of the heavyweights, he was pretty alright. Got himself to a good ranking, as you can see here. He's number 6 ranked in the division, which is pretty high. But he is coming off a loss, I'm pretty sure, and I think he's disliked, or maybe it depends what way you like showboating. But he is known for doing a lot of showboating and not a lot of knockouts and stuff. So we'll see. We're in the clinch right now with 3 minutes to go in this round, or 3 minutes 40 seconds to go in this round. Sorry, nice knee from Acosta. Guy's got 3 names, bro. Waldo Cortez Acosta, and I'm getting confused what one to call him. Delija, on the other hand, is trying to fight the takedown at the moment. From what I've seen of Costa, I mean, he's been a boxer from what I've seen, so pretty interesting that he's not staying on the feet. It was a nice shot landed from Delija earlier in the round. This is the kryptonite test, and Tom Aspinall won't be around much longer if Delija wins this one, because he's pretty much sat one fight away from a title shot then, a shoulder shot from Acosta. And Delija breaks the clinch. Now he's back to where he wants to be. I'm pretty sure as a striker. Coming out of that Aspinall gym. Well, no, I'm not even going to say that, to be honest. It's a high skilled gym. Jiu Jitsu, striking, everything. Kind of like shout out. Shout out to the squad. Paul Hughes, Reese McKee, stuff like that. But Fight Academy Ireland, one of the most underrated teams in the world, coaches in the world. You look at their performances against fighters like Usman Nurmagomedov with Paul Hughes. You know, they were up against the first time Javier Mendez, Khabib, and Islam Makhachev. Then the second fight with Paul Hughes, Fight Academy Ireland coaches were up against Umar Nurmagomedov, Khabib Nurmagomedov, and Islam Makhachev in the corner of Usman Nurmagomedov. And both of those fights, a lot of people argue were won by Paul Hughes and he was robbed in. So they were kind of the, I don't know what you call it. They were the masterminds. Nice uppercut from Delisha, and he's unloading some huge shots here, and Acosta's stunned. They were the he's Acosta's swinging. He's hurt. He's hurt. Something's wrong with his eye, I think. And Acosta's covering up. This fight's going to be over in a first round knockout for Delisha. I don't know what happened with Costa there, but Delisha gets it done. Round one stoppage, TKO victory on the feet. Something happened, and then we all know something happened with Acosta. I think it's with his eye, and he just covered up, couldn't do anything. I don't even know what happened. He might have got grazed by a punch from Delisha, but I thought it came after Delisha stopped throwing and Acosta through, and then it was like yeah, it is his eye, so they're rubbing his eye right now, and I don't think there was an eye poke in there. If there is, I'll get interested and see what happens, but I feel like it was either a punch or his own hand. We'll see. Got to put the tweet out though. Alright, so we'll see here. There's some huge shots. Oh, might have been an eye poke. Delisha reached out with his hand, and we'll see here again. Yeah, that's straight in the center of the eye. So an eye poke leads to TKO victory for Anthony, or Anthony, is that his name? Or if I just pulled that out of nowhere. Wait, is it? Oh, we gotta check this out. What's his name, man? Oh, Ante. I was close. Ante Delisha, you know. But I don't know. That's interesting, man. Like the weekend after his teammate got eye poked as well. I mean, regardless of what you think of him, that's pretty unfair. Costa did get eye poked, so what can you do? How do you spell that word, man? Alright, so I think they're reviewing the footage here and they're going to take a look to see what the decision will be. And I think this one might end in a no contest. We'll see what happens here. You know, Acosta can't see. Let me get 2 seconds of audio on this. Alright, so quickly here, I need to get back on the audio, but I think they're looking at restarting the fight. If Costa can continue, can't see out of that eye, they're going to restart this fight. So let me get 2 seconds again to hear this. So it's actually looking like we're going to head to a restart here, a fight restart, which is crazy. I mean, that's definitely an eye poke, there's no debating it. Maybe just giving us time here. I think they're going to restart the weight. Alright, so he's got a minute. They're giving his full times, full 5 minutes. If he can't see, it will be ruled a no contest with an accidental eye poke. So, no TKO victory for Delisha. It's looking like he's going to fight on. So Acosta is going to fight on. All credit to him. That eye does look like he took some damage, but so did his head because he took some heavy punches. And the fight restarts, and that's going to be an adrenaline dump and a half for Delija. But let's see what he can do here. He had his opponent hurt, but he has had 5 minutes to recover. So a minute and 20 left in the round. Insane. That's what I'm liking no more nowadays, is that there's a lot more restarts. A few of them have just been referees not knowing what they're doing and then saying the round ended and not that they stopped the fight. Well, see, nice job. Oh my, huge overhand right from Acosta, and Delija's really badly hurt, and Delija's out. Oh my, what a turnaround. And he goes down holding his eye. Wow. Tom Aspinall stick around. Ante Delija knocked out. Did he poke him in the eyes again? But Acosta went down immediately after he gets his finish with his eye. He's looking sore here. What a shot from Acosta. That is not what I want to see, but fair play. He's going to keep his place in the rankings and maybe progress even further. Severe pain in that eye though at the moment. That is an insane turnaround of events. That's something I've never seen before. That's insane. Tom Aspinall is about to get fully cooked, I'm pretty sure. Which I disagree with. My Twitter's gonna have a fun time with this one. You can fight on with one eye. It's gonna be all over the place. Surely. And there's nothing Tom Aspinall can do about it. He couldn't see. That's insane. Never seen that happen before in the sport. So a recovering a recovering Acosta gets the job done and calls out Tom Aspinall in his post fight interview, not about the eye poke, but for a title shot, which is insane. And he's lying on the floor celebrating. His pie is actually insane for play. Yeah, Aspinall. The people that are already cooking Aspinall are actually just gonna go mental again. But pretty solid. Another finish. That's one of the most insane things I've ever seen watching the sport. He gets stopped. He gets TKO'd on the feet, but then there's an eye poke in the sequence, and we go to the replay. The referee restarts the fight, says it's okay, which is another situation of a referee stabbing in and then restarting the fight. Then Acosta comes back out with a minute and 20 left to go, but goes on the front foot, then catches Dalisha with a huge overhand right, drops him, lands some nasty ground and pound and gets him out of there. Wow. Wow. Alright, main event coming up next. Steve Garcia taking on David Onama. Stuff you love to see. Hopefully it's a good fight. 5 rounder. Yeah. Pretty solid card tonight. And then next weekend we have Bonfim versus Randy Brown. Another solid card. I'm gonna have to listen to all these just completely stupid texts from people that somehow hate Tom Hospital, being like, "Oh, he's just too scared to fight," and this is what happens when you fight on with one eye. Bro. Bearing in mind, these people disregard the fact that Tom Hospital couldn't see in one eye and had blurry vision in the other eye. He's still wearing an eye patch, by the way, as some of you may have seen on Twitter last night. He, I mean, incorporated it into his Halloween costume. So it's insane, but we'll see. My opinion on it, Tom Aspinall couldn't continue what he's supposed to do. He wasn't getting dominated at all in that fight. Just starting to kind of get into it as well, find his range, land some shots. And I'm pretty sure he's going to land a pretty devastating left hook if Gann didn't poke him straight in both eyes and then try and take his eyes with him on the way out. You know, that's my opinion on that fight. I think the rematch is going to happen. I think my pick's going to stay the same. I think Tom Aspinall is going to knock him out or submit him. I think he's more likely to submit him. People are talking about the takedown defense of Gann and then disregarding how the takedown was defended was once again fingers in the eyes, fingers in the face, anyways. So that's not really defense, is it? It's cheating again, which referees just couldn't care less about nowadays, which is good to know. For if you're a UFC fighter, honestly, mate, just do what you want. All that old stuff that's banned from the rule set, pull it back out. John Jones is gonna start throwing knees off his back and flipping all that stuff. You know, he's gonna have to find a different way to cheat. He already eye pokes, but you know he gets away with that as well. Don't even know that's legal still. Just remember that clip of McGregor, like the voice note on Twitter, heading at Rogan because of that part where like Rogan said when in the Khabib fight, McGregor's on his back and he knees Khabib in the head. Rogan was like calling it illegal. call, call the cops. That was before anything went down with McGregor. Speaking of McGregor on potential comeback, we've seen over the past couple of weeks he has looked healthier than ever. Um, so who knows? Maybe the White House card will happen. We obviously know he's serving his suspension, but it is over in March, so he will be eligible to fight once again at the White House. See what happens. I mean, regardless of what you think of him, the career he's had in the sport, a lot of people do it with John Jones. They just like focus on his career, but the career he's had in the sport, for it to end on a broken leg, whether if he comes back and gets knocked out, honestly, it's probably better. Probably be a better ending for a lot of people than just the broken leg and stuff like that. Can he redeem him? He won't redeem himself with the fans, a lot of them, but can he kind of end his career on a good note for him? Who knows? I mean, it'd be interesting, and we'll all probably watch it. I mean, he's the biggest star the sport's ever seen. Love him or hate him, there's no denying that. Conor McGregor is one of the most mentioned names in the history of combat sports. You've got people like Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Bruce Lee. You know, some absolute insane legends up there, and Conor McGregor has managed to propel his name into a stratosphere, good or bad. Who knows? You know, and we've seen an honest Conor McGregor for the past couple of weeks at BKFC. He's been talking about how the mind's gone blank here. So yeah, he was talking about how maybe the fame and the stardom changed him, overcame him at points, and I think it's clear that for all of us to see that did happen. I mean, he went off the rails a lot. You see the Khabib incident and stuff like that, and obviously that was just a heated incident with his opponent. But we all know what's been happening outside of the octagon, and I won't get into it. It's very sensitive subjects in there, but it hasn't been a good run recently for Conor McGregor. So maybe he can, you know, get himself healthy again. I think it's the main thing. We all know what he's been doing. Let's be honest. There's no hiding it. But that would be a big achievement in himself. Probably for himself if he could just get back and fight. That probably means he's cut out a lot of things that he shouldn't be doing in his life, which hint at what I'm talking about. Um, and maybe he's on a better road himself, which is you know who knows. Could be completely different tomorrow. It is insane though, like when you think about how like even after all of the time off, whenever he was coming back to fight Michael Chandler last year, it went insane. Like tickets, ticket prices, ticket sales, just everything went through the roof. And obviously, he ended up pulling out. But it was you know, an insight, a slight reminder that although a lot of people hate him and it's screwed from that moment, so a lot of stuff that's happened. Um, the superstardom and this the selling power, the star image is still massive and probably the biggest in the sport. For a non-title fight, McGregor was McGregor and Michael Chandler were going to be once again. I think might have been the only ones, along with McGregor and Nate Diaz, to do a non-title fight headliner for the UFC. A lot of other times when that could have happened, they usually put the BMF or something on the line. Go with the Gaethje Poirier fights and stuff like that. but there's no denying the selling power, and that's the way it is realistically. So who knows? Be interesting. David Onama making his way to the ring here. Keep saying the ring. We need to get a boxing live stream going. There was boxing on early on, but it was not possible for me to do this for that, unfortunately. But I had a great time. I love boxing. Probably more than this when I get into it. It was a bit lackluster when I switched from this to boxing last weekend and I was waiting half an hour for a main event and stuff like that. Happened the other week with John Boots Ennis, and I finished UFC and I was like, right, Boots is fighting, I'll put it on. And I sat and waited. The co-main finished, I think it was a knockout early. Then you wait half an hour for the main event. Boots comes out and he's this guy in a minute or a minute and a half at most, completely chins him, smokes him, and you're like, nice, that's over. Like it's mental. And I was thinking about it, but I think the UFC's format helps them a lot. You know, boxing is obviously longer fights and longer rounds, and that's a difficulty. Everyone on these prelims fights 3 5 minute rounds. Then everyone in the main event of cards or the co-main event of title fights, they fight 5 5 minute rounds. Whereas boxing, on the other hand, there could be someone that's lower experience level and they're on the main card, but they're not fighting for a world title yet, but they're fighting 10 rounds, and that's obviously 30 minutes. Then it takes ages to get the main event on. The main event's 12 rounds, and that could be 36 minutes, and you add on the minutes in between rounds, and that's 40 minutes. That's 40. What do we like? It's a long time. It takes a long time before a boxing fight. So when the huge fights aren't there, it can be difficult to maintain, an audience sometimes for boxing realistically, and that was a problem that people over at Riyadh season ran into was whenever they were putting on the musical performances, a lot of people weren't happy, and they just wanted the fights. Fair enough, but you know that's kind of the difference is the UFC's kind of format and just everything's so set. There's no difference. It's not like Ante Delija and Acosta were going to fight 8 3 minute rounds, but then below them and um they were going to fight 10 threes. And there might have been a women's fight in there that could have been a world title fight. You never know. Some promoters are heavily unfair on that side of things as well. Shout out to the GOAT, the greatest fighter, the greatest women's fighter of all time, one of the greatest fighters ever, Katie Taylor. You know, 3-0 in trilogy with Amanda Serrano. Them two in specific, and shout out to another one of my favorite fighters as well, Michaela Mayer. Interesting, but fighters like that, Sandy Ryan, you know, put on a show and they show what can be done. Main events, some of those fights would be insane. Specifically, Michaela Mayer against Clarissa Shields, who likes to call herself the GOAT. She's not my GOAT, but just don't think she is overall. I mean, I think her competition level at this stage of her career is not good at all. She's obviously gone undisputed in like 4 weight classes, I think, which is an insane achievement. But against the opponent level, I think Keith Taylor could weigh in tomorrow and beat these people. So hot take maybe, but same with Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano, shout out to her, great fighter. Obviously, I was supporting against her quite a good bit. Huge Katie Taylor fan, but there was no denying she brought a fight, she brought a war, she brought power, and she brought entertainment, along with obviously Jack Paul and Nikki Sabadarian promoting those things. So we will get a boxing stream going. It won't be Eubank Ben. You'll see why soon, maybe. But um, so it won't be Eubank Ben, but when's the next boxing? Maybe some. It won't be next weekend. Hopefully, I will be headed to bragging rights. Shout out to the main man himself, Paddy McCrory, over at Hammer Boxing. Great boxer, talented, power himself. Had a big fight over in America last year, it was, with Edgar Berlanga in a Canelo eliminator, is the best way to put it. Unfortunately, it didn't go his way, but shout out to him. You know, anyone's met him knows he's sound, and I've had a great time doing media over those events, so hopefully that's where I will be next weekend. Check out my Instagram and Twitter and my TikTok and my YouTube for updates on that, as Tio Allen takes on Lee Gormley for the BUI Celtic title. What a fight. Anyone that knows Irish boxing knows what a fight. And I swear that card is so stacked. Just quickly here, 6 foot versus 5'11", 1 inch reach advantage, 1 inch height advantage for Steve Garcia, 33 versus 31. But if you look at this card real quick, bragging rights. Let's see if we can get it right here. So we get the return of Owen O'Neill, Bernardo Marim, small writing here, Kelsey Leonard, Donna Carey, Lex Weston, and Gary Arthurs. Shout out to everyone on that card. Some great up and coming talent on that card. And yeah, check out for more. But now we're on the UFC and judge for this about our Derek Cleary, Eric Colin, and Ron McCarthy as our ring introducer gets us underway here. So, pretty good fight. As a more, do I think it's gonna, we'll hope for a finish here. We'll get a wee early wrap up. Maybe, you know, that's what we all hope for in life. If you're a European fan, no offense to any fighters, but David Onana comes in at a plus 110 underdog, fighting out of Kansas City. I think that's it. Shout out the Chiefs. Is that ball knowledge? Like, making a conversation with yourself to keep entertainment for yourself up during these things is crazy. Steve Garcia is a minus 130 favorite, so it is close. He's fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. I think that is where Jon Jones lives, or where Jon Jones is from. One of the two. Harding, the referee for this bout. Main event coming up right now. I would be scared if Harding was a referee, or maybe not. I'd be confused. But it's either going to be an early stoppage, or you're about to get hit with the greatest follow up, the greatest hammer fist of all time. You know, Harding might take his time to get there. He's usually quite far away from the action, but he is one of the better referees in the sport. So see what happens here. Forgot the round time, around one underway. So a lot of feints being through right now. Oh, I didn't forget the round. Oh, I just reset the round timer, so I was on time, but then I reset it. That's my bad. 4 minutes 30 left to go in this round. Garcia looking to land that jab early. Nice body shots from Garcia there. Nice right hand as well. Working his way forward. It's interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how both these fighters handle their, what I assume is both their first 5 round main events. 5 round fights, even. A lot of feints early though from Garcia, and could potentially tire himself out. But hopefully not. For a good, see a good fight. Nice right. He's a southpaw. Nice left hand. And he runs in there with a jab to the body, but does get blocked. Ooh, nice uppercut. A lot of heavy investment in the body early for Garcia. Not much in return from Winama on the other hand. He's currently facing Mike Tyson by the looks of it with his head movement. Nice backhand again, an uppercut in there. That's sharp. Bro's head is never on the center line. He's feinting everything. Nice head movement. Let's go. Brandon Moreno here. Nice left and an uppercut. Really nice boxing here. I'm going to be obviously I'm joking about his head movement, his flinching, or his feints. I mean, but really nice boxing from Garcia here. Really nice body work, head work. You know, following in behind that backhand with an uppercut. Really nice work here. See what happens. Unama is definitely losing this round. He's getting walked down at the moment. It's a featherweight main event. So either way, no matter who wins, it's gonna be a long road ahead. Fighters like, I mean, John Silva's gonna be on the comeback. Then you have Diego Lopez, obviously, Lerone Murphy, and a nice left hand again from Garcia, and he's landing some huge shots here. Onama needs to watch. You know, it might hurt the first time, but you keep getting tagged that same shot, man. It could end up on your way. Oh, and that's perfect timing from Garcia, and Onama goes down. He's hurt. Perfectly timed left hand. I think that's what done the damage. Oh, and a huge overhand. Onama's hurt. He's retreating on the back foot here. Steve Garcia is not going to slow down. I think he knows he can get him out of here. And another huge left and an uppercut, uppercuts. He's down. Some nice. Oh, he's up again. Huge shots here on the feet. Head kick. Head kick. Onama's hurt badly. Body tape. And he goes down again. He doesn't. Where this guy's folding everywhere. Huge ground and pound here, and this fight's over. Onama was trying to fight his way back up, but he was severely hurt, and I think there's no arguing with that. He was badly hurt. There's a cut over the eye of Garcia, but what a performance from him. Is pretty bad bleeding there. Yeah, there's no complaining about that stoppage for me. Although Onama isn't out cold or wasn't really badly hurt, he's still fighting on to be fair, but he was kind of getting knocked. Where I think the shots on the feet were hurting him to the head, and then I'm pretty sure he went down off a body kick as well. It was perfectly timed tape, kind of just folded over. So that's going to be all for our main event. I wanted a short finish, and yeah, rather slowly. So we see here, jab, nice left hand to the temple, drops. Onama, it might have missed, might have been jab. There was a really nice left hand before that, perfectly timed, down the middle, held the center line. Tape kick to the body, and that just took the wind out of him, I think. Some huge uppercuts going in from Garcia, head kick. But it was still on the kitchen sink at him. Tape kick again. That was the same bit. Then he goes down. Not much ground and pound needed, although Onama was still trying to fight on a single leg and reversal. Is Herb Dean going to get cooked for that? I don't think he deserves to, but really good performance there from Garcia. That's what I'm saying. I mean, or that's what sentences are starting to go out the window. It's getting late. But that's what I'm saying. You know, if the shots don't sting at first, they keep landing, they never land flush. You know, one of them's going to put you down, and I do think it was the shot before. They show you like a jab. It could have been that, but there was a huge straight left hand landed for Garcia. Perfect punch placement down the middle, in between the hook of David Onama, and I think that might have been what done the most damage. Really nice shot, and then he goes down. Obviously, the jab after it. Yeah, but I mean, it went downhill from that point. At least he's not too badly hurt. You know, he might be able to make a quick comeback, turn around. I suppose mixing two words up. Fair play. So great card. In my opinion. A lot of people were talking bad about that card, but I think it turned out well in the end. Honestly, he had been knocked down 4 times before, so I don't really think you can complain about this. All right, so wrap it up. Great post-fight speech there for Garcia. It emotional, bit emotional at the end for him, but great call out. So it was calls out Max Holloway for the BMF title. He said he wants that Rocky story, he wants that Rocky moment. So he calls for his Rocky shot, and he calls out the BMF champion, the former featherweight champion, Max Holloway. That'd be a good fight. Good striking on display there from Garcia. So honestly, I will be able to weight class so one. It was featherweight and that's lightweight, so that's not happening. And I don't think it would have happened either way because Holloway is obviously involved in some huge named fights. You know, the likes of Charles Oliveira potentially next for him, a couple of other opponents. So that probably won't be who's next for Steve Garcia, but good performance from him tonight. Very dominant. Some hard strikes landed in there. Nice timing. Timing really for me was really good for him. And yeah, that's going to be all. We are wrapping it up. Early stoppage compared to what we usually have here. We're usually wrapping it up at about 6:30 in the morning. Not tonight. So shout out to the UFC Apex events. Keep them going. Keep them on this early. And we'll be back next weekend. No, we won't. Wait. Maybe we will. We'll see. But once again, shout out. Shout out everyone. I don't know, no plan with that. But yeah, it's gonna be all for the day. Like, subscribe, follow, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok for more just updates. I'll have some videos coming soon, controversial topics, including fight like Tank David search Jake Paul is the main target audience I want to hit. So yeah, we'll see. But it's gonna be all for the day. Like, subscribe, follow for more, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.